Let's get deep. Hey, my name is Echo. What is up? So today I want to talk to you about something that I think about all the time. Today I need to speak with you about communication. Communication is a method of making you think the same thoughts as me. The problem is that every single thought is so specific and so individualized that there is no way that you would ever think the exact same thought that I am thinking. Even if I try and communicate something simple, like a cat, I guarantee you are having a completely different thought from the thought I'm having and from the thought that the other 3 people watching this video are having. When I said cat, did you think of a picture of a cat? Did you think of the word cat? Was it capital? Was it lowercase? Was it written at all, or was it completely verbal? Were you thinking of the abstract concept of a cat? If you were imagining a cat, what color was the cat that you thought of? How old was it? Was it a kitten? Was it an old cat? Was it a timeless cat? Did it have long hair or short hair or no hair? How big were the cat's ears? Did the cat you were imagining have a name? And all of these things barely scratch the surface of the thought that is going through my brain right now. There is no such thing as a simple thought, at least not in my opinion. We all have specific ideas and associations that we link to everything that we think of, and it's all based on our own personal experiences. You and I will never be able to accurately duplicate the thoughts that are going on in another human being's brain, because pure communication doesn't exist. And when I'm talking about communication, I'm really talking about like pure and absolute communication. Like when I say a cat, I know you're probably not thinking of a basketball. You are getting within the ballpark of the idea that I'm having, but you will never be able to exactly peg or replicate the idea that's going through my brain. We are all just trapped in our own brains, screaming at the top of our wavelengths, praying that someone will be able to come close to hearing what we're saying. That's so sad. And I don't know about you, but that makes me feel extremely alone in the universe. Just the very idea that even though I'm talking to you right now, even though I am trying to get the thoughts from my brain to yours, that they are not fully getting through, that you will never fully hear me. It's not like humans aren't trying. Like, we have so many forms of communication. We have written communication. I can take the thoughts that are going through my head and then convert them to words, and then convert the words to these little squiggles that I put all over the screen. Then you can take these little squiggles, convert them back into words, and then try and duplicate the thoughts that are going on in my head. Such a complicated process. We have verbal communication. I can say things. Basketball, oranges, the sun. And then there's visual communication, which is personally one of my favorites because I'm a visual communication designer. So if I just throw up an image on the screen, there you go. The thought that I'm thinking is probably getting through to you better than if you had to read it. There's also face communication. Faces are great for expressing things that you can't really communicate with words. You can communicate your anger. You can communicate suspicion. You can communicate disgust. You can communicate that you've accidentally done something you probably shouldn't have. And then there's unspoken communication. Siblings, a lot of the times, have really great unspoken communication. If my younger sister has something I want, I can communicate that I want it without saying anything. And it's not just like that. Like, you can, honestly, when you have siblings, you can kind of just communicate without actually saying anything. It doesn't matter if your sibling is surrounded by stuff. If you hold out your hand, they know exactly what you're asking for. It's really hard to get your thoughts across to another human being, which is why we have to very often use multiple forms of communication like facial expressions and words and tone and posture and hand motions, body position. It's just me trying to get my thoughts into your head. If you have ever thought thoughts like this before, do me a favor and click on my face to subscribe to this channel so that we can be alone in the universe together. And then I want you to go down into the comments and I want you to write in as much detail as you can what you thought of when I said a cat. And I will do my best to let the thoughts from your brain get into mine. I am letting you control my brain for a minute. Take advantage of this. Dance break. Minute and 13 seconds of me repeating the same thing word. Oh, ankles. Emotions, and these are some bug. Oh no, he killed him. His grave is the trash can.